actually am very happy with how my scar is healed. And in fact, even when it was healing, it wasn't even like that visible. But that was my biggest concern. And really, the hair has grown in really nice, and really I don't even see it anymore. So I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I did the brow lift and the nose, but it's just a very nice balanced look now.
So I'm here with Amy, and Amy is about 4 months out from a rhinoplasty with a hairline advancement and brow lift. And her nose she looks amazing overall, and everything's healed in really nicely. But I wanted to talk a little bit about her hairline advancement and kind of what our thought process was, why we decided to do it. So a hairline advancement is mainly used for somebody who has just a really tall forehead, where they feel like their foreheads, they call it a 5 head sometimes. Yeah. And it's always been the case. It's not the result of hair loss or recession or anything like that. And that was the case with Amy, where she just felt like her forehead was bigger than she wanted. As we get older, one of the things that can happen, and Amy's young still, and I say that because we're pretty much the same age, and so we're both hanging in there, right? But one of the things that can happen in somebody with a tall forehead that has had that for their whole life is it can start to make you look like you've receded, like you're losing hair. And again, it's not hair loss, it's just that you've always had that. And so I like the way that a hairline advancement lowers the hairline down, creates a better frame around the face, and just gives you a younger look, even though again, it's not necessarily treating something that changes as we get older. It's just bringing that frame down so that it just makes you look like you have a lower hairline.
I agree. I think it just balances it out too. It balances out the frame of the face. And my biggest concern was the scar, and I actually am very happy with how my scar is healed. And in fact, even when it was healing, it wasn't even like that visible. But that was my biggest concern. And really, the hair has grown in really nice, and really I don't even see it anymore. So I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I did the brow lift and the nose, but it's just a very nice balanced look now.
Well, one of the things that you mentioned is that there is a time period that you have to wait typically, that you shouldn't make judgments on the scar, because it does have to take time to mature and heal. Honestly, Amy's ahead of the game. I told her that today, that most people, you can see that scar more visibly for longer than 4 months. And so you're kind of, you're a little bit of an unusual situation, because you've got that just pretty dark hair, and yet your skin is pretty light. And sometimes the contrast can be so stark that you can see the scar, but yours hasn't done that at all, and yours is just blended very nicely. You can see, it looks like, Amy, that maybe you lost a little bit of hair right at the front.
I kind of did lose a little bit, but you told me it would grow back, and it did. So.
And having a little bit of temporary shedding right there at the incision, that definitely can happen after a hairline advancement. And I always tell people, don't panic. You do have to kind of make sure you're doing something for 4 to 6 months to hide it, and just because it's going to take a little while before it gets there. So like cutting bangs or styling your hair in a way that covers up that hairline, that's a pretty important sort of game plan. But it looks like, that little shedding. I know,
I kind of wore my hair off to the side a little bit more, but now I'm like, well, I can't see it now. So
it looks so good, even if it works. We'll post her before and after pictures and do some side by sides, just so you can kind of see that. I'm so excited.
Thank you so much.